against the fascists. Now, there's no room for complacency. We are not just up against drunken lot of football hooligans. We are having a serious enemy in front of us. It shows a little bit how they are. Elon Musk personally and Farage personally amplifying the hate campaign against me and another anti-fascist activist.
There is no place for hate here, man. I'm gonna block whoever
I'm not
hate
in
comment, I'm gonna block.
It's a very strong sense of history, and never again means never again. And we need to learn the lessons from this history. The Nazis were able to come to power because the resistance was not united, and too many people thought this would blow over. We have seen by what the far right is doing here over last weekend and what they are doing now, that we have got to make sure to stop them before they grow any bigger. So they've got our work cut out, and we will not be defeated. Thank you.
So I want to hand over to our next speaker, who you might see standing here next to me. Reagan Bennett, I'm sure someone who needs no introduction if you've ever been on an anti-racist protest in Britain, but you turn on the news every once in a while. Reagan Bennett is the co-convener of Stop Anti-Racism, the party to organise this building protest today, and all the rest you've seen around Britain, so over to you.
I want to thank every single person who's come out in a demonstration all the way from Scotland to Lanzarote. Because people say, where are the fascists here? I mean, they keep emailing me saying, we'll meet you in Victoria. They don't seem to be here. They seem to be missing. I tell you why they're missing is because they're bullies and there's lots of us. And they only thrive when there's not lots of us. And we're going to stand together and make sure that we're not divided. But I want to talk about something, which is every time I go on the media, they keep asking me about violence. What do you think about violence? And I want to be clear about violence. I think there's a difference between the violence of the oppressed and the violence of the oppressor. And I want to be clear about this. Be peaceful, be courteous. Don't put your hand on anybody. But if they put their hand on you, you've got a right to defend yourself. Self-defense is no offense. And I keep seeing these racists coming on TV pointing out we're defending the mosque, we're just the same as them. No, we're not. When women fought for suffragettes, they were defending the rights of all of us. The people trying to take away their rights, they're the violent ones. When LGBT people marched for justice, they're marching for all of us, and they were fighting for all of us. Nelson Mandela is not the same as the people who gave us apartheid. And I come from a country called Jamaica, and my family are people called Maroons, and my family kicked their masters out of their houses and burnt their houses down, threw away the chains and demanded their freedom. Do not compare a slave fighting for freedom to be the same as someone who puts you in chains. Those are different things, and they should be treated differently. So that's why when people ask me if I've got friends called Ricky Jones, and they say he's still your friend, he's still my friend. He was my friend when the EDL marched. He was my friend when the BNP marched, and he's going to stay my friend, and he should be freed. Now, I also want to say something else about violence. Have you noticed, Eureka came up there, they threatened 2 women. That's what the EDL, that's what people like Tony Robinson did. Do you know what his first crime was? It was for beating up his wife and beating up a woman police officer. Do you see the trend? Do you see where they stand for? and what they stand on. You notice that the second race attacks are women who are wearing hijabs. You see the trend, you see the tactics. But what I'm proud to say is that women have always been the backbone of the anti-racist, anti-fascist movement. It was Rosa Parks. It was Rosa Parks that refused to sit down. It was Doreen Lawrence that said, if you murder my son, I will speak out. It was Shakwan Real that said that it was wrong that took place. It was Mel Salim that when they murdered her father in Birmingham, the Nazis did, she demanded justice for her father. And so I want to thank the sisters for coming out and saying they will not be cowed because we are not scared. And the final thing I want to say is that we keep being told that the racism that's taken place is foreign. It comes from outside. I'm telling you now that Tommy Ted Names, Stephen Youngsley, comes from Britain. That Mosley, who had the black shirt, comes from Britain. That racism is based in Britain. And when we're told that it's a foreign entity, that people like Nigel Farage is a racist and he's from Britain. It is true that they're getting help from people like Trump. It is true that the funding for Tommy Robinson comes from the far-right Nazis, and we should be clear about it. There is a conspiracy, but it's by the far-right Nazis, and they should be exposed and they should be stopped. And the final thing I want to say is, where is terrorism? If it's not terrorism that we're seeing now, then what is it then? When you start burning down libraries and citizens' advice bureaus, you're a terrorist. When you try and burn down a mosque, you're a terrorist. And those people are the people that deserve to be locked up. And the language that I put forward is division and doing that. But I am going to say this as well. People say not stop the fascists, but stop them in their tracks. Now I do understand that the police here and that make a difference, they're there. But I tell you what made the difference. Millions of people standing in their way. If you were to stop the fascists, you have to use millions of people to stand in their way, to make a deal through that is coming. So let's build a movement of millions of people that stand in their way. And let's never forget this. Nazis can't dance. Nazis got no dancing. They got no ideas. They got no